Like you cut, G.
Hello, welcome to the first review on my channel, and today we are reviewing the smth Toys, the amazing Spider-Man. If you don't know what this is, or if you probably do know, I'm still gonna tell you anyways because I want to fill in the uninitiated. This is a KO, it's a bootleg, it's not real. Because, you know, someone might think that, oh look, I got a really nice deal at $30 for something that's like $100 really. You're not going to get it. You're getting a bootleg. This specific bootleg was made by a company called smth Toys, and it's a company that's doing a really good job at copying other people's work. Yeah, the KOs are just people, you know, basically doing the meme of like, can I copy your homework? Yeah, sure, you can change it a little bit. It's fine. The first bootleg that they ever did, as we know of, is the SH Figuarts Across the Spider-Verse Miles Morales, which is kind of surprising because this popped up everywhere. And alongside their first release of Miles Morales, they also released the Across the Spider-Verse Gwen, and you can tell that they're both first releases because they kind of both suck.
Used to say
Shortly after that, they released a bunch of other figures, as you're seeing on screen now, and over time, in every figure release, they both gotten so much more better. And the thing is, they're not stopping. They just released this, and also this, and they're gonna go ahead and release another one, which is this, right after they released this. And I'm like, what? We finally have a bootleg company that's in like the same lengths of what Weijian was to the Transformers community, which is really cool. And yes, I do hear you screaming from across the screen, oh, when is this guy gonna be done? So here's the actual figure, and my first thoughts are, it looks really good. When I first unboxed this, I was very happy that they got the color of it right. It genuinely looks like how it looked in the film, and that makes me so happy. But when Bandai first showed off pictures for this, a lot of people didn't like it, including me, because I thought the neck was way too long, and a whole lot of people thought the chest was way too stocky. It looked triangular. But having it on hand, it looks really nice, because you can see the little details in the actual suit that's pricked out in the red and the blues, and it's very accurate to the film, and it looks great.
I tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Okay, it's kind of hypocritical of me to say after the bit that this isn't perfect. It's a bootleg. But for bootleg standards and the price, this is really good. The paint and the sculpt of it is really good, like I said, but one thing is very obvious is that the eyes are kind of red under the light. That's present in a lot of other people's copies. It's probably because they didn't put too much paint on it, which kind of sucks because it's very noticeable when there's an actual light source in front of it. One thing's also weird is that the web lines aren't gray, it's black, which is kind of weird because compared to the real one, it's obviously color gray. But here's another paint hap. The left shoulder has very bad paint on it. It looks pink compared to the right one, which is normal, and it's kind of funny because like it reminds me of this. It reminded me a lot of how Mayfix used very cheap paint for their second ever release. So it's just kind of funny that a bootleg company and a high-end company like Mayfix used very cheap paint, which is very hilarious because you can see on the pictures right now, it looks the same, you know, it degraded over time to like this pinkish color, and it's fun.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Okay, if you were wondering if the web shooters were also present since Andrew has it, yes it does, and it looks very accurate to the actual web shooter prop in the film, and it looks really great, which is nice. But one glaring issue that you can kind of see here, well, you can definitely see, is that the paint chipped on the diaper. I'm gonna be honest, this figure isn't new. I got this like a few months ago now, and it's kind of like me exposing myself for playing with this figure way too much to the point where it just, you know, absolutely wrecked the paint. I love Andrew Garfield, dude. He's my favorite Spider-Man, and I'm exposing myself here, but he's really cool, and I love him a lot. And that whole soundbite went way too long because it went into detail how much I love Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. So let's just move on to the accessories. As you can see, there's a lot of accessories here. There's overall oh wait, that's a spoiler. Did you think that was a segue for accessories? No, I lied. We're going to the articulation. There is a 360 on the head joint, and there is a downward and an upward joint just so he could see what his feet looks like. There's also a head and a neck joint, making it a dumbbell joint for more articulation. There's a butterfly joint. It's not really good though, if I'm being honest. Like, the range isn't good. You can make him hold the webs if you want in a post-up, like a web swinging pose, but it's not good. The butterfly joints can go down for some weird reason, and this part is very scary, moving the arms to do a full 360 because the space of the actual arm and the butterfly joint isn't very big.
That's quite big.
Now there's a 360 in the forearm joint, it's not an elbow joint, which is kind of funny, and there's a double elbow, which is really nice, and there is a wrist swivel that can go up and down, and if you turn it the other way, you can go side to side as well, which is, I mean, to do that. And then there's a really good ab crunch that can go forward quite a lot for web swinging poses, and you can even go more. Dude, what? What the heck? He doesn't go too far back though, which kind of sucks, but it's alright since there's the detail of when you pull him back, you can see the spider symbol go all the way inside of the waist joint, which is cool. And there's a side to side as well, and it can go forward and backward quite well because of the way that SHF designed it to have a diaper. I know people don't like it, but it's really good. There's a thigh swivel, and there's a really good double jointed knee, and then he can kick his own butt. And there's a really good foot joint and go forward, backward, and pivot that much for poses. And there's a really good toe joint. Oh my god, it's Andrew Garfield. Hey look, it's the Andrew Garfield head sculpt that I was trying to hide even though this figure has been released for a while now. It's because SH Figuarts pulled their head sculpt way into production in the middle of it because of the whole license. Oh look, there's a mark. A lot of the toys in the Spider-Man No Way Home branding had to suffer from that because of the whole licensing issue with Andrew Garfield's likeness. So it's really nice that CT Toys has this one. Oh wait, there's another mistake there. And the eyes, I'll talk about that in a second, but it looks like they even got like face print technology, as you can see with the close-up, and it looks really clean too. Like you can see the little, you know, beard he has, and then the 5 o'clock shadow is also present, and the eyebrows and hair are cleanly applicated as well. But the main problem with this is the eyes are printed way too high. That's cursed. But my main problem with this head sculpt is that this isn't theirs. This is another one of those stolen files that's just floating around on eBay. Same with the neck piece. And it sucks for the artists who made this because, you know, their work is just out there for free, technically, because another company is profiting off of it. So it just sucks because, like, no matter how good this looks, like, look at them next together. It kind of sucks with that added piece of context that it's kind of scummy. But, like, you can't lie. Look at this. They're doing the thing. They're doing the thing. They're pointing. Tom Holland! Oh, yeah, I don't know why this would be funny, but, like, I recorded this. Like, oh, that's how you change his head. You decapitate them. I don't know why I thought that would be funny. But here it is. I kept it in. Yippee! But also, here's another thing that's, like, kind of sucky. Because, like, even in the Bandai one, there's something missing. And you saw how, like, the accessories was like, oh, look, there was a scrunched up hand. He doesn't have a fisted hand. And before you say that this is a fisted hand, no, it's not. There's a hole in it. Those are two different things. Fisted hand, you know? What am I doing, dude? This is what the fisted hands are supposed to look like. This came with the Tobey Maguire figure. And he has the fisted hands and more accessories. Like, he even has a mask holding piece and two head sculpts. But Andrew Garfield didn't have any of that, even though he didn't even have a head sculpt anymore. So what gives? My best guess, since they were allocating all the budget for the Andrew Garfield head sculpt, they hadn't had the time to do the fisted hands. So when it came down to them removing it, they still couldn't get the chance because it was already midway into production. Which kinda sucks because he's the only one in the Spider Bros who did not have a fisted hands. But at least for the head sculpt here for CT Toys, they really nailed the likeness of him. And that looks really, really nice. Okay, just a little advisory before we start. The CT Toys versions, all of the CT Toys figures are way more smaller than the original. There's a reason because of that. I can go on, but the video is already getting too long. So if you ever want to buy this to change your own figure, to like fix it, you can't. It's way more smaller, so yeah. So moving on first with our first comparison, the SH Figuarts Tobey Maguire and the SH Figuarts Andrew Garfield. They're both bootlegs, by the way. Now here we have a Marvel Legends Tom Holland, which is a 6-inch Spider-Man for point of reference. CT Toys are very small. Now moving to a pairing I want to see on screen, the amazing Yamaguchi Deadpool 2.0. Oh my. Now moving on to another pairing I want to see on screen, Tom Hardy Venom with Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Here's another amazing Yamaguchi with Captain America. Haha, look, it's a Civil War reference. Lego Spider-Man. Marvel Legends Model 24 Iron Man. I love this figure. And Big Spider-Man. And just because, why not? Here's a Mayfex Justice League Ben Affleck Batman. And also just because, big Optimus Prime who can't even fit in the frame. But going back to being serious, here it is next to a ruler just to show you how small it actually is. It's around over 5 inches, unlike the real figure it's around like 6 inches or more. Here it is for last and final comparison with the 3 Spider-Man. It would be right to have the final bit with all 3 of them on screen. So while I set it up, I'm just gonna give my thoughts. It's a really good figure. Too bad the height is kind of a drawback to it. At the same time, the paint chips very easily, and also it's a KO. You never know what you're gonna get. You don't know if it's gonna be a good or a bad one. And also, you're in a moral gray area with like supporting artists and stuff, the designers. But it's very important, the original is gonna be better. But for something that's very cheap, it's pretty good. Dude, I really want this figure, man. It's very nice. Look, it's very cheap too. Look at that. And I have a lot of vouchers unused, man. What?